What's up, everybody? Hello, how's it going? We are back, third Tuesday of the month. So much to talk about. We are recapping KIT, we're recapping Go for Broke, we're recapping Help Hannah Heal. We have upcoming events also, Frosty versus Online Warriors, and just so much to talk about in terms of Marvel and everything going on. It's going to be one hell of a show. Today, going to pass it around to the crew and say what's up. We're going to start with our very special guest and KIT champion, Punisher. What's up, dude? Welcome to the show. How are you?
Hello, guys. I'm really good right now. Thanks a lot for having me in this show. It's always a pleasure. I think this is my second time.
Woo woo. Cool. And we also have Airborne back on the show today, filling in for some crew members couldn't make it, but we always love having you on the show. How you been?
Pretty good outside of being the biggest choke artist at KIT.
Ooh, well, we're definitely going to talk about that later. And potato salad back, looking disgusted. What's up?
I lost to this dude and then he lost to the person that I sent to losers. That should have been me.
The salt is going around. Oh my god, I cannot wait to cover KT. Merkel, how's it going? Happy New Year. Well, I wasn't here last time, so I get to say Happy New Year to everybody. But yes, Happy New Year. How are you? Wait, I can't hear.
This is awesome. Okay. My audio is super choppy.
See, it's not me this time.
You were like, you were jinxing everybody else, and it's you.
Okay, wow.
Good. I'm assuming that that's a standard stuff.
Just don't say anything. Turn on your light and bob your head.
Success. Well, I don't know what's up with your audio, but I don't know. I don't look at me for assistance because I'm like the last person. Well, we'll bring it back around to Kyle once he gets that figured out. And honestly, we have so much to talk about. Hopefully, Kyle fixes his audio soon. Regardless, we're gonna get it started. First things first, we have to talk about KIT. KIT is gonna be the first tournament. We're gonna be recapping that just happened January 5th through the 7th. Of this year, one of the first tournaments of the year, of course. We had the Marvel Pool streamed on 645's channel. Shout out to 645, always an amazing supporter of Marvel, even back to 3 to now. And then, of course, Marvel Top 8 and the Fight Night exhibitions and stuff that happened on Saturday is on Panda X Gaming. You can check out their YouTube. They have all of the footage. They even have a nice nifty little playlist that has all of top 8. It's really convenient. So go check them out on YouTube because they have all of the good stuff. I guess we can talk about the Marvel 3 tournament a little bit. I know most of us have already moved on all the way to Infinite, but no, we still have those who just cannot let go of this game. First place being Joey D. No surprise there. I feel like he's been one of the most reluctant ones to the transition over to Infinite. I don't know about you guys, but yeah, so first place Joey D, second place Ronan Healy, third place Remy Martin, fourth place Dapip, tied for fifth was Static Alpha and Not Enough Damage. Woo! And then tied for seventh was Bison Doll #1 and Super Noon. So, for it being Marvel 3 happening in the current state of the MVCI era, what do you guys think of this tournament? Anybody want to pick it up, or should I just kick it around the table?
I can go.
Go for it.
It was pretty cool, actually. I mean, it wasn't like a super huge tournament. We only had like 20-something entrants. But the cool thing was that it was a good mix of like people that clearly still played the game, and then people that shaking off rust. So like somebody like me, for example, I can't play Spencer anymore because of Marvel Infinite. So I had to play a completely different team. So I was playing Doom, and I had a close set against Remy. He ended up beating me, and I lost to Bison Doll. And shout out to Bison's Doll. That's TPO Charlemagne from Atlanta. He beat me, and he beat Cloud to get out in top 8. And Cloud was another victim of like not having played the game and like characters being different. But it was cool to see some old faces that haven't transitioned over to Infinite. So like Remy Martin and Datvit, neither of those guys play Infinite. So it was cool to see those two looking fresh as ever. And I know it was a little interesting too, because both those guys, I think they got 7th last year. Granted, it was like more people in Marvel, but it was cool to see those guys, you know, improve on what they did last year. And but yeah, everybody that got top 8, like for the most part, you could have predicted, because they looked the freshest. They're like the most, I guess you could say, used to playing, or, you know, they hadn't lost a step. I think maybe Static Alpha, he seemed to kind of warm up as he was playing. So like his Viper was looking kind of shaky in the beginning, and then you could see the rust starting to shake off as he kept playing. So yeah, it was cool.
You entered it.
Yeah.
So how did you feel about entering a Marvel 3 tournament after playing Infinite, you know, past few months?
You know what? Like, I was actually, I went in with little expectations. I was like, I'm entering to support. I love this game. Of course, like, I was one of the few people in here that said, like, if there was going to be a Marvel 3 tournament and Infinite, I'm going to enter both. Where, like, Jonas and Kyle and even, I think that was the episode Airborne was here, they were like, oh, I'm not going to enter. But I was like, yo, I'm entering. So I did, you know, I entered and I played Point Scroll. So that was fun.
Nice. Any other quick thoughts on the Marvel 3 tournament before we jump into the Infinite madness? Because there's a lot to talk about with the Infinite side of things. But I don't know, Gilbert and Airborne, did you guys go to KIT? I can't remember.
Did you ask Gilbert if he went to KIT?
Oh yeah, you won. Sorry. I meant to ask, did you enter Marvel 3? That didn't really come out the right way. Did you guys enter
No,
Marvel
I did
3?
not.
Okay. What about you?
I didn't enter Marvel 3.
I'm still working on video, but do I have audio back yet?
Yes, you do have audio, but no video.
Nice. So I had entered Marvel 3, but I didn't actually get to. I didn't realize it was on Friday, so I didn't get to actually make it out there. But
okay.
I do think it's funny that the top 8, the teams for everyone that played, it looks like the old Marvel 2. When you look at the back of like Tips and Tricks magazine, and they're like, oh, here's the tourney, and it's all like Storm, Cable, Doctor Doom, or Sentinel, whatever the MSP was. And it's just like everyone plays 2 of the same characters. But I think it's cool that we did have that X23 there. Shout out to Datvit making 3rd.
And a Taskmaster!
Right, yeah, Taskmaster a 2nd. What year is this? This is awesome.
Yeah, it was just cool to see some of those characters that haven't made it to Infinite. It was just like, oh yeah, those characters are still cool. And like, you know, like...
Yeah. But yes, besides Marvel 3, we did have a ton of Marvel Infinite madness. Now, I'm going to start with the exhibition. Sonic Fox versus Cloud. Now, I wasn't here last week. I was under the weather. So I need a brief recap from you guys. Mostly Marcus, since you were telling me all the details about last episode, about how Cloud was talking all that good shit about New York and this and that, and then what happened? We're starting with the exhibition too. That's
we'll talk what he said. So he basically, I kind of asked him. I was like, "So you consider yourself the best Infinite player?" And he's like, "Yeah, we're only as good as our last tournament results, but I've won the last couple tournaments, so I'm the best." He said overall he feels like East Coast, specifically New York, is free. I think he said the players that he respected were Sonic Fox. I believe he threw in Coach Steve in that. But I think he was mostly talking with the old guard. So he was saying, like, you know, Ray and Flux were kind of washed up and some of those guys. And he gave props to Idom as well. I don't remember him saying good. He said he gave props to Kill Sage as well. I don't remember if he said anything about Gilbert, though. That I don't remember. But ultimately, he said that this tournament, I believe, almost like was free. I think was what he was basically hinting at. He also said that Persia, she never compliments she never says anything good about me. And then, you know, he probably talked about your mom and other things too, but that was like the main thing I remembered.
Well, first of all, to defend my name, I gave Cloud mad props when he won Battle for the Stones to his face. So you know what, Cloud? If you got beef, what's up, man? All right, anyways.
Of course, when there's no video evidence. I see how it is. Safe play.
Oh, yeah, you know, the OS. I'm good with those. All good. Welcome back, Kyle, by the way.
Hey.
You are in action. We are live. But yeah, so that exhibition, Sonic Fox versus Cloud, the beginning, it was back and forth. Sonic Fox won, Cloud won, Sonic Fox won, all the way until like game 5, and then Sonic Fox started pulling away. But in the beginning, I was like, wow, this is going to be like a 10-9 type of set until like midway through. So anybody got something to say about this exhibition? What was the key changing factor? I'm going to start with Airborne because I feel like he really wants to say something, just judging by your facial expressions.
He wants to pat himself on the back.
Please do. Shed light on this situation because it was so close midway through. Sonic Fox pulled away. What happened?
Okay, so about like it was I think it was about like 4-4, 5-5, one of them. I turned around to Marcus. He was sitting right behind me, and I was like, watch, as soon as someone, they're the person that wins 2 games in a row wins the set, because it was literally back and forth, back and forth. And Sonic Fox won 4 straight to close out the set 10-6 after it was 6-6. Called it.
He called it. I think Cloud even said I think in the pregame interview, he thought it was going to be 10-6. I don't think he thought it was going to be the way it ended up.
Right.
But yeah, he predicted that as well. But yeah, shout outs to Airborne. You know, he was like, watch, and he was right. We also, both me and him, we guesstimated how many of the turnaround glitch there was going to be in the set, and both of us were off because I think Cloud only got one like legit one. I think the other 2 that he got were like fake tag cross-ups that he did with the teleport, but I had predicted 3 and Airborne predicted 5, so he's not always 100% right. So
that's the important takeaway here.
Yeah, basically.
What night was the exhibition at? Was that Friday night?
Saturday night.
Saturday night. So
yeah, you haven't watched it yet?
No, I missed it. Was
Panda X Gaming was the one that streamed it. It's a super, like, it was 10-6, but it was a super close set, and like there was a lot of like adaptation being like that happened. Like I think one of the things that I noticed later on in the set, or as the set went on, was and I mentioned this in the top 8 too, was that Sonic Fox was really good about making sure he had a pinwheel or just something to force Cloud to block when he activated Soulstorm. So like something that his partner would have to respect, so he couldn't just wake up and go ham or anything like that. Even if it didn't necessarily amount to offense, he forced him to be in block stun, and that was something that changed throughout the set. So like in the beginning, he wasn't doing that, but then as the set went on, he did. And then there was like certain mix-ups too that Sonic Fox seemed pretty straight on. Like Cloud, he has a tendency to go for like a teleport buster reset, and I think Sonic Fox, I think he damn near blocked every single one, even from the beginning. Like he didn't, like the first like 2 or 3 times Cloud did it, he didn't get hit by it. So like shout outs to like he prepared for the set, like definitely. And it was funny too because after, like, not to get ahead of ourselves, but after the exhibition that night, I played some sets in a hotel room, and I played with Cloud, and he was doing stuff that he wasn't doing in the set, and I was like, yo, man, where was this, earlier tonight? And he said, well, I had to save some stuff for tomorrow because they ended up playing on top 8, but it didn't matter.
What do you think, Punisher, of the exhibition?
Well, as Marcus said, he was actually saving up a lot of stuff, because I also played him in a long set, and it was completely different. I was able to block like 90% of the stuff that he was doing, but I figured, I was like, yeah, he's trying to get him in tournament because he knows he's gonna get there. And as they said, it was actually 1-1 all the time, and I was like, what is going on? Like, why is it that one of them is getting a game and then the other gets a game? So it was very refreshing to see that. But then, Sonic Fox, as people said, adapted, and he just kept on rolling. And that's the thing. It's like once he gets that momentum going, it's really hard for people to get out of it. And, and after that, it just becomes a body bag.
All right, all right. Anyone have some final words on this exhibition before we start covering top 8? Yay, nay, ready to move on? All right, we're moving on. So top 8, very next day. I find it pretty interesting that Cloud wanted to save some tech for Sunday. So let's check out these results, right? We'll start from the bottom, work our way up to the top. Tied for 7th, we had Punk and Static Alpha, which, by the way, shouts to Punk. He's been playing a lot of Marvel, been pretty consistent, been seeing him around doing his thing. Tied for 5th, we had Jazz Rap and Supernoon. 4th place, Cloud 805. 3rd place, Coach Steve from New York. 2nd place, Sonic Fox from New York. And then 1st place, Punisher.
Wait, Sonic Fox is from New York?
Yes,
or
no,
does he
he's
just live in
officially New York. No, when it comes to Marvel, I 100% claim him.
Okay, I respect that. I respect that. Take it whatever you can get.
Yes,
Take whatever you can
exactly.
get.
And 1st place, our special guest, Punisher from New York, doing the thing. So Punisher, give us your perspective on this tournament and what you thought about it. And who was your most difficult opponent? And if you say Cloud, you're off the show. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
See, the Punisher, this is your chance. Don't ruin it. All right, so my hardest opponent was actually Sonic Fox, because I was ready. I was more than ready for Steve and anybody else. I actually wanted to play Punk, and when I did, you guys saw what happened. We've had a little bit of beef in the past at Next Level, because he was about to beat me like 3-0, and then Sonic Fox was like, yo, Gil, stop messing around. Just play Space Stone, box him. And after that, I just reverse 3-0'd him, and he got really upset. So he started talking a lot of caca. So that was one thing, right? And then when I saw that I had to play, I was like, yeah, this is my chance to 3-0 this guy right now. And yeah, as I said, Sonic Fox was actually the only person I was worried about, but I knew that I was ready, because I've played him a lot of times. And out of everybody else, besides Sage, of course, I am one of the people who can actually beat him consistently.
So I guess what tips do you have to offer the masses that makes you so much stronger against Sonic Fox's rather oppressive displays?
Well, first of all, Marcus already revealed my secret, right?
Arrows are OP.
Arrows are really
bringing Taskmaster will be good. Capcom, let's go.
Yeah, I agree. Taskmaster would be really good in this game, because you cannot out back like that anymore. Of course, we're not gonna give you shield skills anymore. See you, Marcus, trying to scheme. But yeah, so Hawkeye has the advantage on both characters, because Hawkeye can stop Jedha from moving forward, and he covers like all of the angles that are like sweet for Jedha to be in. So that's his approach, and Hawkeye stops him right on his tracks. And the same thing goes for Rocket Raccoon. You see the little block strings that Sonic Fox loves doing whenever you're mid-screen. I can just push him away, and if he puts out a trap, I can just do back down arrow and hit the trap, and with the other arrow, with the special move, hit rocket, or put a exploding arrow right in front of him. So if he tries to do anything else, I can just Space Stone and pull him in, and then get a full combo from there.
Would you say so? Almost 90% of hits, it feels like, between you and Dual Kevin's Hawkeye is Fire Trap, Space Stone. Do you think people are trying to up back or trying to jump out of the zoning, and they're all looking for people that are getting antsy there, or is it just kind of a free, when it happens, and it's so easy to react? I'm curious what kind of mental games y'all are playing around pulling people into those traps.
Okay, so this is a mixed bag, because a lot of people are trying to backdash, right? You can already block, right? But most of the times, people are trying to either out back, or they try to push block, because they think that they're gonna get hit, right? That they're gonna block the hit and then push it away, so that they can either reflect it or get a chance to up back as soon as they recover. So the problem is that the way Dual Kevin and I set it up, right? At least in my case, most of the times I do it so that the exploding arrow is a couple of pixels away from your character, so that it looks like it's gonna hit your ankles, but it does not. So because you see this, and this is what kills people most of the times, you see the blocking animation, and it makes you think as soon as the arrow just touches the floor that you're blocking it, but you're not. So the moment you push block, right, if you don't get a dash, right, you get a button. So your hurt box just extends towards the trap and you get blown up. Now, if you try to up back, you get blown up instantly and you can just react. If you were doing something else, you can just react into I0 and then tag. And after that, yeah, you go from that. But, if people start blocking it, which is, my intent, the moment they start blocking it, that's the moment where you can actually control the match, because now you dictate what you want people to do and when.
Yeah, I definitely get the feeling that we haven't even actually seen people get past the first layer of Hawkeye for the most part. Like I've seen, there's that really nice set between Dual Kevin and Cloud. And at one point, Cloud's like, okay, I'm just going to block this out. And it was a 2v1 situation with Hawkeye, and he got the W there. But it seems like if you do have some kind of backup or a second character to provide the pressure when people get a little too respectful of Hawkeye, like, I think that he's going to be really gross. And I keep seeing so many people have him really low on tier lists because there have been a whole bunch of tier lists releasing lately. But I think that Hawkeye is going to be pretty strong towards the end of the game.
I think tier lists are, not to go on a tangent, but tier lists are kind of all over the place right now because I don't feel like enough representation of high-level examples of certain characters have been around yet. So, like, I see some characters being placed really high, and it's like, why is this character here? And they're like, oh, well, it's ancient Chinese secret. You got to come to my scene to be able to see, why. Or versus, like, this character where it's like, hey, I know somebody that uses this character really well, and I've seen these characters, but nobody else in this, somewhere else even uses that character. So, like, you guys have, New York has Rocket Raccoon on lock. So because you guys have a vibrant community and, like, a lot of tournaments and stuff, people get to see on a daily basis, even if they don't have to experience it, they get to see how strong Rocket Raccoon is. But then, like I think a character that's underrepresented is, like, Hawkeye. I think, like, Thor. Like, a lot of people at KIT were impressed with Jazz and Coach Steve's Spencer, and they didn't realize that Spencer was good. And it's like, what? Like, have you not? But I mean, it's just because not a lot of people are playing. Like, you see a lot of, I won't say copy paste teams, but you're seeing, like, a lot of the same people make top 8s at the big majors because they're the ones that travel. So then people just write off the entire rest of the cast.
Mm-hmm. Let me tell you something about that. Coach Steve himself thought that Spencer was not good in this game. And it was simply because he and I, right? We both wanted to look at the characters as their former selves. Mm-hmm. And that is actually a big mistake when you're transitioning from a game that is so different. And when characters have been reworked so consistently. So in this case, Hawkeye, for the most part of MVCI, right? I thought that he sucked, and it was just that I sucked with the character. I was like, dude, I can't do anything with the character. Like, I can't move. People are on my face. People, like, they're on my face all the time. I cannot get them off me, and I didn't understand the mechanics of the game. I didn't understand how the character was supposed to be played, simply because I was spoiled from Marvel 3 having great movement. It was not Magneto, but it was actually really damn sweet, and that was the biggest problem. They made Hawkeye slower because they knew that if he was faster, he would be unstoppable. He would be one of the most feared characters who can hit you more than 3 times without even having to be close to you, right? And that's why he got the nerf when, they nerfed Piercing Bolt. It used to go through beams. It used to go through everything and then hit the character. And that was something that I was using towards the end of my transition. I was like, this is actually really good. So if people just do random super with Dante full screen, that was pre-patched, by the way, I can just do Piercing Bolt, we trade, but I get to leave, and they wasted a bar. And then, the nerf happened, and Capcom was like, hey, Chris, I got you something. You lost Magnum, but, your cousin Hawkeye is going to give you something. And then they gave him a wall bounce on top of that. So Chris got the new Piercing Bolt with a wall bounce and a hard knockdown. I'm not mad about it. I'm just salty that Hawkeye doesn't even get to pierce through projectiles, regular projectiles, not supers. That's actually dumb. And hit people. Like, it doesn't matter anymore. So using Piercing Bolt is for you to just pressure people, never to go through projectiles anymore.
Yeah, I totally feel how you feel about that. When Gamora couldn't body everyone in the cast for free, I really
Look at
switched
this.
to
Dummy.
So
That was Spidey's
know.
only answer to Reality Stone pre-patch was being able to web zip through stuff. So it was like, but yeah, I felt like everyone kind of underrated their characters when they first came out. Like me and Zero were under the impression that Spidey was like worse in 3 or worse in Infinite than he was in 3 at first. So it was like, then we found all the stuff. It's just the mechanics are completely different. The game is slowed down. The stage is smaller, more intimate. It's a lot different.
I think really the only people that like legitimate have an argument that their character is worse is like the Franks and the Hulks and then like the Chris's. But I feel like even still in those cases, like people are still finding stuff. So they could be like, oh, like they just haven't expanded their mind to, you know, the infinite engine to in order to like get the most out of their character.
And speaking of things that were supposed to get worse, let's just take a moment to realize that at KIT, 6 of the 8 people in top 8 were Space Stone users. What? It's everywhere.
all these guys in the chat.
I
are
mean,
shaking their head.
I mean, like when they had that patch, it was basically like not that reality got hit that badly, but I feel like a lot of people, like the people that were still using reality, they kind of like, well, I'm going to use something else, and I feel like a lot of people are now seeing the strength of Space Stone, and I think some people have even fallen off Soul because they see how quote unquote difficult it is to do like the tandem combos and like some of the execution required with that.
Mhm.
So I think this is going to be like a trend that we continue to see. I think you might get a little bit of like random one-offs. Like I know Mega Man Steve is still rocking Mind Stone. I know some people like Power Stone has seen like a huge jump in usage, especially online. But like reality, I'm pretty sure it seemed like most Reality Stone users pre-patch that rock heavily relied on it
They
just
jumped.
switched over to like Power or Space.
What about you, Punisher? What do you think about the rise in space users?
Oh my god. Okay, I know you guys are gonna be familiar with this annoying sound. Reality Stone. That is I'm sorry. Power Stone. That is Spider-Man, right? So it's just web zip across the screen, and then you get a cross of Power Stone. And I'm like, dude, like I already blocked that.
Can you do it with Space and like do it like the other people that use it where they do it 3 times in a row to pull somebody into a trap? I think of the Rocket Raccoon.
The Rocket is actually the best.
Space to space, space sound.
I'm like, this guy is just too cool because he's like, get in here. But yeah, so that is true. I've seen a lot more people playing Power Stone instead of playing Reality Stone. And let me tell you something. Even though Reality Stone got nerfed, it also got buffed, and the buff that it got is actually a lot better than people realize. Since you can actually throw it out, and let's say you know what you're doing, you throw it out, people try to hit you, but they get hit. Let's say that you both trade. You still have time to actually recover and combo. So you can just do a normal into tag and then just confirm from there. And that is something that I'm not seeing a lot from people. I know Ray Ray was doing that a lot because I think Ray Ray is actually like the biggest of pioneers when it came to Reality Stone. Like he was the Reality Stone guy, you know. But yeah, Space got nerfed. You know, there's a lot less time, thank God, because that was actually horrible that it had so much time. Jeddah could actually get like 10 mix-ups inside a box and still have time to kill you. It was crazy. So your first character was dead. Second character was definitely dead because you were not blocking whatever the hell Jeddah was doing at that moment, right? So nerfing Space Stone, you know, made it more fair, but that is a stone that has a power that no other stones is going to have, and is the ability to lock out a character in a 2v2 game, and that is huge because you're automatically just handicapping the opponent. If you have one character, it's just 1v1. If you're really strong against on the 1v1 situation and your opponent is not, and on top of that you have a very favorable matchup, you know that you're actually 100% in that other character the moment it goes into the box. So after that, you can just weather the storm and let them activate whatever stone they have. especially if you have a character who can fight really well inside of the box.
Airborne, any thoughts on this change in stone usage? Any stats? You're usually our stat guy, so give some knowledge, man.
I unfortunately didn't get to the top 16 because I was a little depressed whenever I thought about top 16 being -3 games away from it or something. I don't know. Anyways, the character diversity was interesting. So speaking of things that got worse, there were 4 Dantes. And so my theory that I've been spitting out since KIT is honestly, I feel like the gap between Dante and the rest of the cast actually got larger with the nerf of Dormammu. I feel like the top 3 is hard to decide, but number 1 is still clearly Dante. So I thought that was interesting. But otherwise, it was 2 Rockets, 2 Jettas, 2 Novas, 2 Spencers, 1 Ultron, 1 Strider. Shout outs to Brandon, by the way. Love you, dude. But yeah, like the stone change was definitely interesting because I feel like the reason why we're seeing so much space and so much soul is because of 2 things. One, they're the only 2 stones in the game that literally create this character disadvantage. So with Space Stone, it can force the 1v1 when you're behind. So it's the best comeback stone. And it also forces, it just helps snowball. So it forces a much more intense 2v1 when you're trying to finish off a character or when you finish off the first character and you're preventing the opponent from even resurrecting with Soul. So it's also a bit of a soft counter to Soul. And then for Soul, it's we're starting to see, like, for instance, with Eddie Moo playing Doctor Strange and a lot of other players seeing a lot of success with support characters that are not as strong on point. It helps prevent the team. It's like insurance for when the team falls apart, which is when the point character dies. So the Soul Stone, which is the reason why I'm using it with Spidey Venom also, is because once one of the character dies, the other character just sees a significant decrease in potential and output and everything. So the Soul Stone is essentially insurance for keeping that team synergy going and just rolling with your win condition. So like Reality Stone doesn't prevent the character from doing anything. You can still be nimble and dodge, bob and weave between everything. Time Stone, no comment. Mind Stone, no comment. Power Stone is the only one that the only advantage that it provides is that you can't push block the opponent, and that's essentially why everyone was going to use Time Stone, to just use continuous moves to like contain or to retain the pressure. And Power Stone, you only really see that from like Spider-Man users, but you see them using it for the Surge, not for the Storm. And so when they're using the Storm, it's like, well, they're just trying to squeeze out more damage most of the time. You don't really see them trying to just contain the opponent. And so Space and Soul are just the ones that limit the opponent's options the most, while the other stones really don't accomplish anything.
Gotcha. Well, I think that's going to just about wrap up KIT. We have been talking for a whole half hour about this event. We have so much more to talk about. Any final words on KIT Top 8 Exhibition or Marvel 3? I feel like we kind of got it all on point.
Shout outs to the Spencer players. They were the most hype besides Gilbert. Like I really like seeing Coach Steve versus Cloud getting that run back.
Mm-hmm.
Jazz versus Punk was sick.
Only because of the 30+ overhead.
Yeah. Yeah. And just like I said, watching Gilbert, just Hawkeye just doing whatever he wanted to do. I had one question. Can I ask?
Go ahead.
Was there anything that you took from Sonic Fox Rocket from exhibition that you brought into Saturday or Sunday finals stuff?
Not really, because I knew what I needed to do since we have played so much, and most of the stuff that Sonic does hasn't changed, right? So most of the things that he actually did and some of the things that he didn't do, I already knew it because we played at Rays, we played at Next Level, and at Bombs too. So I was more than ready for the start of the round, and that's the part that actually worries me the most when playing against him is being able to get away from that 99-second scramble. And that's the thing that people should actually strive the most to be really good at. because if you cannot survive at the start of the round, then you're losing half of the match the moment you start. Like the moment they actually reset you back into neutral, but it's not your neutral, it's their neutral, because they force the situations, and that's the scariest of things to be in.
Cool. All right. Well, that's going to wrap it up for KIT, which is Kumite in Tennessee. But on the flip side, Panda X Gaming and KIT is partnering up for Kumite in Texas. That's going down July 27th through the 29th of this year. I think that's like the weekend before EVO. I could be wrong, but I know EVO is like in the beginning of August this year. Anyways, before EVO, so anybody in the South or anybody who's looking up to hit up those last second majors right before EVO, get that practice in. July 27th through 29th of this year, brand new major is going to be held at the Irving Convention Center in DFW, Dallas-Fort Worth in Texas. So follow Panda X Gaming US on Twitter or go to kitrevival.com if you want more information on this. This is going to be supported mostly by Panda X Gaming and Engage Esports. Registration and planned games are still to be announced, but just keep your eye out for that. Honestly, I think there should be more tournaments in the South. I love Texas. Obviously, I'm from there. Not as much as I love New York. But anyways, yeah, there we go. On to the next few things on our recent events before we start previewing other stuff. Oh, yeah. What's up, Kyle?
So for KI Texas, we have KI Texas, KI Tennessee. We can't say KIT for both of them anymore. So we're going to say KI Tex, KI 10. Like, how are we going to...
Just say just say KIT in Tennessee, or I don't know, like KITX. KITX maybe.
Yeah, it's like KI Tex and KI 10. I don't know what the Tennessee one
original and extra crispy.
Just call it KIT2 and that's it.
All right.
I'm sure we'll get clarification eventually, hopefully from the people putting on the event itself. But yeah, so great stuff to Panda and everybody over at KIT for putting on an awesome event. I think it was one of the more interesting Marvel tournaments we've had recently in terms of competition and gameplay. So guys, please check that out. Go over to YouTube, Panda X Gaming. They got the playlist, got everything set for you. All right, moving on. Another recent event, an amazing event, a fundraiser, so to say, was #HelpHannahHeal. Too bad KP couldn't be on the show because I'm pretty sure he would have been able to talk a lot about this. But I'm actually going to kick it over to Airborne because I know he had a big hand in helping out with this. Yeah?
Yeah, so so this all started, it was right before I got picked up by One Frame Link, was when Phage, Brian, who's part of One Frame Link, he was the one that actually created the GoFundMe for Help Hannah Heal, being good friends with Hayden, like most of us. And so Hayden was one of my, I don't know who knows this, but Hayden was actually a training partner, or my training partner for 2 to 3 years when we both lived in Lexington. We had no one to play with. We had to drive an hour away just to play Static. So like, I mean, we both like, you know, grinded together and everything. And, you know, he beat my ass 24/7 before he like finally started giving me advice like 3 years ago. Anyways, yeah. So, I moved away to Louisville for a job, got Static as my training partner. He moved up to Indianapolis for a job. We were both, you know, super happy for each other and everything. And Hannah went up with them. And back in August, Hayden went silent on Twitter and everything. And I was trying to, you know, talk to him about getting some, you know, some future content rolling out and everything. And then out of nowhere, this whole thing happened, and she got diagnosed with Hodgkin's lymphoma, which I don't know, most of you know, but it's a rare type of cancer, but it's the one with the highest survival rate. It was in stage 4 though, which means that it was starting to spread through the whole body. And so it was, you know, like that's literally my biggest fear in life, is to have my significant other, you know, have something that I can't, that's outside of my control. So I really wanted to help Hayden out because he'd been such a great friend to me and such big help to the Marvel community and to me as a player. So when right before I joined One Frame Link, I reached out to Phage in our exit interview, and I was like, I really want to help. What can I do? And so he threw out a couple ideas, and I was like, maybe I could get Net Battles involved because KP was part of Net Battles at one point too. So we ended up thinking about it, and then I shifted it to Nolber, being like, is there something we could do, like maybe give lessons or start reviewing gameplay and stuff like as like donation incentives. And he's like, why don't we just do a donation drive? So I was like, word. So back in November, we did our first one, and it was extremely unorganized. We did these donation incentives where we had the infamous box match where Brandon actually beat someone online while wearing a box on his head. We had the Reality Stone thing where pre-patch, everybody hated Reality Stone. So it was like, what if you, every time the opponent calls Reality Stone, you get pelted with paper balls? So that was just, it was perfect. And then the Soul Stone 2v2, one person controls the stick, one controls the buttons, and he got even more exciting this time around. But I had I didn't plan out the exhibitions. I was gonna be like, every $50 that we get donated, I'll create another exhibition. It was really unorganized. Angelic, I thought, was gonna choke me through the internet because I messed up the window that I was gonna have him play in, and it was all sorts of stuff like that. But this time I had it a lot more organized. I added these incentives and everything that essentially we had infinity surges, which were the same things that were going on, like changed the Mind Stone to wearing these kaleidoscope goggles that are like really intense and like not easy on the eyes whatsoever. And we had some interesting stuff like when you unlocked, we were literally playing Power Stone for the Dreamcast at one point. What else did we do? We had the Soul Stone 2v2, which was between Eddie, Brandon versus Hanny and Kevin. And I don't know how many of you saw it on Twitter, but we had Hanny and Kevin, or had the losers sing A Whole New World on stream. And so we have Kevin invented a new word called shimmering, because he kept saying shimmering splendor instead of shining shimmering splendid. So and he was singing it all whiny and stuff. But we had exhibitions lined up that were a lot of fun. Was really hoping the main event originally was going to be Punisher versus Teemo, which I thought a lot of people were going to be excited for, but everyone was getting sick left and right. I had like everything falling apart at the last minute, and Super Noon helped out. Mango for Tango helped out. There were a lot of people. Shout outs to all the exhibition players that managed to help out. Shout outs to all the players originally that wanted to help out. Those helped a lot. I was very appreciative of everybody wanting to pitch in. And shit, what else was I gonna say?
Esports, come on! No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, but yeah, it's just I was only aiming to get like $500 this time around because we only raised $435 last time, and then out of nowhere we got this anonymous $450 donation. We were all flipping out in the house, like I was about to start like running laps out of excitement. Then we had $1,000 donation by Coco. It was just like. When we hit 2,100, we broke the goal for the GoFundMe, which like covered all the medical expenses that I needed for the rest of the year. So like I was honestly like ready to break down and cry at one point because I was just so happy that I was able to essentially be a part in helping them out.
That's awesome, and that's so amazing of you to put that together. And I don't know, it's just so nice because I feel like within our community, there's so many situations where we kind of really pull through for each other, and it's nice. It's just really nice. Like you said, they raised $2.1K for this donation drive, well over the limit. So thank you everyone who donated. And for anybody who doesn't know Hannah, she's amazing. So worth every penny. And if you want to see the archives, just go over to twitch.tv/NYC Furby. Thank you, Art, for letting that stream go down on NYC Furby. So check out everything that happened from #HelpHannahHeal over there if you missed it. So any final thoughts or words? I know I did see Brandon playing some random games too. Like, it wasn't all just Marvel, right? There was also some fun games, and you guys are doing random stuff. I just saw, I don't know, it looked like Guile jumping on missiles. Someone was like, yeah, that's the Wesker tech. I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, so that actually was the only part that was not intended for the whole stream. Because like Nolber and Brandon were talking at one point. They were like, yeah, we could do all sorts of stuff, like, to get people entertained. We could bust out Contra 3 because we're both really good at Contra. And you can clearly see that they were both lacking something somewhere. It's just,
oh my god!
There's a large lack of communication, and It's like Brandon knew what was going on. Like you could just see like the teamwork was like really good at the beginning, and then all of a sudden it fell apart out of nowhere. Brandon was yelling at Nober, being like, "Quit shooting!" And like he stopped shooting when he was supposed to. He started shooting when he wasn't. Like one thing about the brain, the final boss, is like you can choose essentially what form he takes. When like the balls are spinning around, like whichever ball you shoot is like whichever form he takes. And Nober just kept shooting and like triggering like one of the bad ones, and then and then Brandon missed one time, and they just like got wiped, and it was a lot of great fun. And I'd never played Power Stone before, so that was a lot of fun. But I have a Smash background, so that was it felt a little similar. Beat Eddie Moo in that, and then and the fact that we got Eddie to fly up. Shout outs to Phage and Chase for hooking us up with that. It was insanely fun to exploit that rivalry between him and Static after that blow up to get the top 8, which everyone thought
also one of the best pop offs I've seen in quite some time. Like I like Brandon getting hype, and especially when it was kind of like the most friendliest, lovable pop off I've seen in quite some time, which I thought was really fun.
Yeah, the funny thing about that is I went on the Reddit page, and like I was actually starting to get a little irked, like a little ticked off by the post when people were commenting on it and everything, because for some reason everyone thought that Brandon was dry humping Eddie, and it was not the case. He was just like dancing behind him. It was just like he was close, but he did, like there wasn't physical contact there. And so like everyone was like, it got to the point where it was like everyone was like trying to like get all offended and everything, but they weren't even part of it. They weren't even there. It looked way worse on the camera.
Everything was completely consensual. Like everyone in the Southeast, we're all family. Like that was just fun. There wasn't anything weird.
It's tough love, and like Eddie was definitely playing up the rivalry, especially when I had to pick him up from the airport. Oh, there were so many things that almost fell apart. So first of all, we had like a 1/4 inch of ice or something come in Friday. Oh. So I originally had to pick up Eddie from the airport at about 10:30. I didn't actually get him in the car till like 11:30, and then we like finally got back to my place at 12:30. And then the Kaleidoscope goggles, I ordered them on Amazon. They came in Friday. The problem was I didn't realize that my default address on Amazon was still set to my old apartment. So I had to call my old apartment complex to see if we can magically get them. And it was just like it was one thing after another, and the fact that we managed to improvise when necessary and recuperate and everything was like I couldn't have done it with everybody that was in the without everybody that was in the house and everybody that contributed, everybody that donated, and everybody that helped spread the word and everything. Because like I was starting to think it was going to be a dumpster fire at one point. But I tried to remain confident.
Well, it was awesome, and thank you so much for putting that together, and thank everyone in the community for helping make that happen also. So we're going to keep it moving along now. Like we said before, twitch.tv/NYCFurby if you want to check that out if you missed it. Obviously, it was entertaining for multiple reasons. So moving along, the last tournament, or last event we're going to recap before we get to some of our previews here, just happened this past weekend in Atlantic City. It was the Go for Broke Winter Championships. It's actually going to be one of the first, I think, of a series of tournaments that Nerd Street Gamers is putting together. Nerd Street Gamers, they are based in Atlantic City. Like I said, putting together this series. So you're definitely going to see more from them coming up this year for multiple games too, not just Marvel, but they're kind of doing a lot of different things. The tournament itself hosted 3 fighting games, which was Street Fighter, Tekken 7, Marvel Infinite. Each game had a $5,000 pop bonus. First place alone took home like $2,900 or something like that. So definitely hefty payday for everybody who won. And I'm going to run through the top 8 of this. We actually had some pretty interesting people in the top 8. I was personally hyped for a few of them, but let's run it down the list. Tied for 7th, we had Viper, Smooth Viper, and Scamby. For 5th place, we had Geobron and Boog. For 4th place, we had Daigon. 3rd place, Mega Man Steve. Woo! Shout out to Mega Man Steve. 2nd place, Chris G. And 1st place, DQ Sage. Boom, taking over. Definitely had an intense grand final set. Sage was actually in loser's bracket, and he was sent to the loser's bracket by Chris G, and then he showed up in grand finals, reset the bracket and then pretty much dominated the reset. Like the first set in grand finals a little closer, last set was pretty free. So it was very interesting. Like I said, shout outs to Mega Man Steve playing 0 Mega Man X, and he switched to Soulstorm. He no longer plays Mind Stone, so that's great for him too. But more significantly was his run through, you know, the tournament. He was taking out a lot of heavy hitters and kind of making Mega Man X look pretty good. And I feel like we haven't really seen that many people use X. I think, you know, Flocker is using X. I don't even know who else has been using X.
I think that's really it. I think most people like stopped. Like there was a whole bunch of X0 teams. Like I know Flux used them, but everybody said, "Oh,
Right.
Zero or X sucks," so they went to somebody else. And I think this is another example of a character that people just didn't. And I don't know. They didn't know how to approach this game, so they tried to approach it with the Marvel 3 way, and it doesn't work with him, I guess.
Right.
We actually almost had 2 X players make top 16 at KIT. Shoutouts to Shamar from Lexington, who 3-0'd Punk in Street Fighter 5, and shoutouts to Air Dash Club Ken for being a boss with Iron Man X.
Lit. All right. So keep it up, X players. There's hope for you after all. This game has some leniency. Sort of. Okay. So another thing, though. There was a lot of Bucky in this tournament. Actually, in the results, you'll look through the results and you probably will only see like one Bucky player I see, which is Bug. But Scamby was playing some Bucky, Winter Soldier. I don't know why I want to say Monster Hunter when I want to say Winter Soldier. Anyways, Scamby was picking up some Bucky and Chris G was playing Bucky too. And as if this should be any surprise, I don't know if it's surprising to anybody else, but I think Chris G's Bucky was the best of all 3 Buckys that were, you know, used during this top 8. He was doing the gunshot loops free, by the way, and unnecessarily. 4 reps of gunshot loop when he was already in his phase. He could just do 2 reps into a punch or something like that. But no, he went 100% gun loops, was actually pulling them off in grand finals and stuff like that. He was not using Bucky, but I just thought it was really interesting that you could tell he kind of just used Bucky for fun, but his Bucky is actually really legit too. I don't know if he's just sitting there all day learning those gun loops, but he was the only one I really saw using them effectively, and every time he landed it, so much life lost so fast. I was kind of losing my shit. But anyways, it was cool to see some more Winter Soldier. I feel like Winter Soldier is pretty strong. I feel like he's going to be a huge problem later on down the road. But it still kind of makes me wonder more about Venom and Black Widow, right? I thought it was going to be the other way around when these characters came out. I thought Black Widow was going to be crazy. I thought Venom was going to be crazy. I was curious about Winter Soldier. And now I feel like it's backwards. I don't know. I want to start off with Kyle on this.
Put me in, coach.
Yeah. Because I was like, he's
I'm in
so
there.
eager.
Let's go. We're going to talk about my characters.
Do
I'm
it.
about
I
it.
didn't-
Talk about it.
I just want to say that if you didn't see his metal arm, I don't know like what else could convince you that he was going to be the coolest character. But you can go ahead and talk to them now.
So I will say I think that Winter Soldier probably ended up being the best character in the last DLC pack. I think
As
that
he
he's-
should.
Right. I think he's super high execution, but you do get a lot of reward for the effort. Lots of, I think he's like a Gamora if Gamora had slightly more tools and better angles. They kind of serve the same purpose. They both get full screen conversions off of weird crap. They can both shut down zoning pretty strong if you're in the wrong place on the screen. But then also Bucky has a lot more defensive option. He still has a reversal when Gamora doesn't. He's got full screen gunshot loops, which is hard for Gamora to solo convert those kind of hits. So I think that we're definitely going to see way more of him moving on. I think Venom, I feel like he's kind of starting to slow down on the tech. I think that he started out pretty strong because he had a lower entry bar than the other characters. He was able to do quick damage really well. He had a strong crumple that people didn't know how to respect starting out. Double trap still throws people off, like not knowing how to navigate without getting nommed on by Venom traps. Stuff like that I think is mostly matchup issues. I don't think it's something that's going to carry Venom much further. And then I think Black Widow is just super hard, but she's also, like, she's not OP. she has lots of cool tools, and she's got a really deep mix-up tree. So if you don't know the matchup really well, you're going to get hit by stuff just back to back to back.
Right.
Even
running into her grenade that's like lays on the ground. I feel like in theory it's not that crazy, but the one time I played against Black Widow, I was definitely running into it all day.
Yeah. Well, she has a weakness that a lot of the trap characters don't have, where if she gets hit, the gas trap will go away. If she even blocks something and the opponent has a sticky bomb on them, the sticky bomb goes away. So there's a lot of places where if you know that you can press buttons because you don't have to respect bomb yet, or you can use like Chun will use spinning bird kick to get over gas trap, or like if people know how to put hitboxes in the way when Widow thinks she's safe, but she's not. Like I just think that she takes a lot of work. I think she's really fun, and I'm definitely a Widow main for the foreseeable future. It's going to have to take like 2 really good DLC characters to pull me off Widow Strange at this point. But I think Bucky's a problem, and I think he's going to continue to be a problem. Static Alpha Brandon has been doing all these big mystery tweets about his new Viper brew.
I know.
And I'm almost positive it has to be that. I mean, come on, you can armor through stuff, you get wonky full screen conversions while you're like hopping forward people. Like, come on, that's Marvel 3 Viper all day. So I'm excited to see him. Like, Brandon's sick. He knows how to handle the execution. He knows how to put stuff on the screen. So look out. I think if that's what he's messing with, then we're gonna have problems.
Yeah, I feel like there are a handful of people messing around with Black Widow right now, and I'm really eager to see like what they actually bring to the table with the character. Because I don't know, I feel like she has some stuff, but we just haven't seen it yet. I mean, it's hard. There's like so much tech coming out for this game every day for all these different characters. So all in good time, all in good time. But yeah, Go for Broke Winter Championship. It was pretty hype. Airborne, did you catch any of this tournament? Just asking.
I did not, because I was too busy sending Dual Kevin to losers at Godlike Saturday.
Ooh,
see, man, he's perfect for Marvel Live. Like, KP hasn't been here to just talk shit to people. It's like, oh yeah, also I beat you. So I'm glad we got that back, because we've been missing that for a while.
I was asking.
Though if we're gonna do that, why don't we talk about that set we played at KIT? You want to talk about bodying people?
Are we talking about like the set we were playing in casuals, or the fact that I outplaced everyone that's part of Marvel Live there?
Oh, definitely that.
What game are we talking about? Because the other Marvel.
Hey, I have to play the hardest shell in the game. Spidey Shuma is not possible to play. Like, Shuma is easier to play than Spidey is in that game.
Hey, who plays?
That's a problem.
Who plays Skrull Taskmaster?
I lost to some guy that was calling Iron
not even an answer.
Beam assist and going full screen heavy berserker slash.
Fake news. He didn't even answer the question. Get this man off the show.
Marcus did body me for real though. Like I just completely forgot how to play neutral that tournament. I was like,
but you got me back.
I know how to play dash. That's about it.
You got me back in Infinite, so.
Oh yeah, tell me. Oh wait, did we even talk about that? I don't think we talked.
Yeah,
about
he was up 2-0.
I was up 2-0 and I lost. I was like, how do you fight against Venom now? He actually got to play Venom the next 3 games, and I didn't know how to fight against Venom, so it was just like
I had this
okay,
really clutch Soulstorm to finish off Game 5 because as soon as that match started, I thought you already won like Game 5. I don't know how it even ended that way.
Yeah, he was able to get like a second soul built up, and then it was just a wrap because I was too low life to deal with it.
Hey,
it was.
I think my Strange. I feel like 2 or 3 of the matches was Strange solo comebacks against 2 healthy characters. So I don't know. I feel like I can brag about it at least a little bit. I did horribly in the tournament. Well, okay, not horribly. I did 3-2. 2-2, I don't know. Not as well as I wanted to. I ran into Iconic, and his Chun pressure is actually super sick. Like, I haven't run into anyone that whose Chun is as tight as his is. Like, you can't push block him off of you. And you can't even, like, push block, try and interrupt. It was horrible. Definitely wasn't able to adapt to that fast enough. And
my boy Earl from Lexington, who is also one of my former tournament partners.
Is that the one is that the other one that got me?
Yeah,
honestly,
he's been causing a lot of people to get frustrated with Rocket. So,
oh, that's right. Yeah. That was a really good set, though. I had a lot of fun. I just didn't recognize him.
All right, cool. So, I had asked you that Airborne because Giobran, he made it in top 8 using some Spidey, so I wanted to see what you thought about that. He does use Spidey power, so everyone was getting clapped by Zip behind power all day. It was great. I actually love seeing that. I think it's the most, like, disrespectful stone. It's just too funny seeing that power stone to clap everybody. But anywho, yeah. Oh, wait, sorry. I was cutting you off there. What's up?
I was just gonna say, like, it's for some reason, when I watched him play at NEC, he I noticed like he's definitely like forcing to get in, like forcing that the scramble, and like just throwing the web zip out up forward, and like a lot of the situations, like people like just like freeze whenever they see that web zip travel because they know he's coming, and it, like a lot of the times, one, he's probably gonna cross you up because the angle that he's coming at, the power stone will hit too high if he does it from like in front. And the other thing is that you can't just like force him in. If you put something in front of him, he cannot block when he's traveling a web zip like he could in 3. So just put something in front of him, you can just blow him up half the time. So it's
I'm bad. I didn't know that.
Yeah, like
well, there's a gap between the zip and when he gets there, right? So can you?
Yeah, there's also the startup of when the zip actually travels, because it's not like Spencer's where it's practically instant. It's just that like he gets more mileage off of the zip once he actually develops it, but it's a matter of just stopping him from being able to do the zip because it's slow on startup, and the fact that he can't block when he's doing it. Like if he does anything to stop the momentum, like web ball, you can smack him, especially if it's heavy web ball, or you can reflect it. Web swing, if you do that, he cannot block until he touches the ground. So like there's plenty of ways to just like put something in front of him, and like a lot of people are saying that Hawkeye beats Spidey, like Spidey's worst matchup or something, but me and Kevin both agree it's 50-50. It's just the Spider-Man player has to know how to play the neutral, and a lot of Spider-Man players are just disregarding the neutral entirely.
They just need to play Gilbert.
Yeah, I agree on that. Because Spider-Man, first, he has a superior movement. He also has like the really weird angles that he can approach Hawkeye from, right? And but here's the thing, once you get your game started, it's really hard for Spider-Man to try to approach Hawkeye, right? So let's say you have an exploding arrow on the ground, right in front of Spider-Man. He's gonna have to then commit to super jumping, but then by the time he does that, I'm already aiming up. That way I can just shoot him down, right? And if anything, I can just shoot and tag to keep myself safe. So that's another thing. But yeah, it is true. It is actually a 50-50 matchup.
Cool. All right, so we've talked a whole straight hour about recent events. I think it's time to wrap it up. But just to sign off on Go for Broke, it was an awesome tournament. Pop bonus. Thank you for the support for our game. There's more where that came from. They are based out in like the Philly/Jersey area. They kind of go around. This last event was in Atlantic City. So anybody in the area, keep an eye out. Go for Broke's going to be hosting more stuff. Thank you, Kyle, which is the one who helped organize that event, for bringing us all out and supporting. So thank you so much. We're going to keep it moving along, though. We're going to start previewing some upcoming tournaments, starting with Frosty, which is coming up very, very soon. This weekend, actually. The dates are the 19th and the 20th of January, Friday and Saturday. That's going to be over in Illinois. There's going to be a Marvel 3 tournament on Friday. We've got 40-plus entrants. Tons of people entering this tournament. And then on Saturday, we have Marvel Infinite tournament. That's going to be on Team Spooky right here. So make sure you keep an eye out for that, which is obviously also extremely stacked. Anybody want to take the first bite out of this while I put up this lovely slide of Frosty?
Let's talk about these brackets.
Yes, talk away.
Well, I should say the bracket, the pools real quick. So it's like 130. Like she said, those pools are ridiculously stacked. Should I just go pool to pool and just say the big names, or should I just say all the... Okay, check this. So there's a pool with Kinder Party. You might have heard of him. Chris G and Ram Bam are in a pool together. Then there's a pool with Flux, Frankie G, Leon Ultimate, Punk. There's a pool with Compound X, Doja, who who eliminated Joey at KIT. Sonic Fox, Ryan LV. They're like Sonic Fox and Ryan LV in the same pool. Like I need to see them play against each other.
Seriously.
We got the Kill Sage, who we just talked about, beating Chris G. He's in the same pool with Sack Tap. You got, let's see, I think this pool, Joey D is in a pool by himself, Collusion. Yeah, I'm not boo-booing on anybody in this pool. I'm sorry, Teemo's in this pool. Then you got Punisher. He's in the same pool with I Heart Justice. So maybe some cat play. We got Coach Steve in the same pool as SJ is in that pool. I haven't seen SJ play in this game yet. Then you got Dual Kevin. I think this is going to be his premiere. I don't think has he been to a big Marvel Infinite tournament yet?
I feel like he's been.
Oh, you're right.
Online sets lately that I've seen.
But he's in the pool with Viper, Smooth Viper, and Peach Cola, the Hawkeye player from the Northwest Majors that did really well.
Mm-hmm.
So
3 Hawkeye players in the same pool.
Yeah.
Get out of our game.
Only one will make it out. They're trying to, make it fair for everybody else, right? Yeah, so the pools are stacked. They're ridiculous, and I feel like I missed some people too. But yeah. I'm sure, there's 130. I think registration is still going on, right?
I think so.
I think they got a week left.
And
you know how
site.
people like to enter last minute. So I expect at least one more person to one more big name to pop up and just to mess up some brackets.
By the way, I just saw GC Yoshi was in the Marvel 3 tournament.
Yeah, GC Yoshi. Oh yeah, so in the Marvel 3 tournament, GC Yoshi and Reedman, Fizzy Cups are in Marvel 3, but they didn't enter Infinite. So it might be another. It might be another they just kind of like how we had with Remy and Datvip, where it's they haven't fully gotten used to Infinite yet.
I mean, it is a big adjustment, so that's fine. Yeah. Who else has some thoughts on these stacked pools right now for Frosty? I'm actually pretty excited about how stacked this tournament is.
Yeah, I think I'm glad that we get to see KP out there doing battle because it's been a little while since he's been out and about. But honestly, free for me. I just want to see Dual Kevin go out there and bust some heads.
Word.
The shout-outs, Jackoman in the chat. If anyone doesn't follow the stuff he's been putting out, his sets that he's been putting out for Infinite have been fantastic. I think the Dual Kevin Cloud set that he managed to catch was probably one of the best sets I've seen in a good little while. So definitely check him out and be ready for Dual Kevin to do some work. People aren't ready for Hawkeye.
Yeah, I'm super looking forward to watching Ryan LV again because kid is must watch for me. After watching him at the Battle of the Stones, I am number one Ryan LV fan. I love watching him play. And then obviously I want to see Kevin. I haven't got to see him. And then I'm gonna cheer for the homies in here. So Punisher. Actually, Airborne, did you enter?
No, Static and I actually won't be going. Since it's just a one-day tournament, it's a 6-hour drive for us.
Oh yeah, because this is a Saturday tournament, right?
Right.
Yeah, I plan on seeing my family because I haven't seen them since Christmas. So,
but I want Punisher to do well, obviously, and Coach Steve as well. So those are the people that I'm hardest rooting for.
Yeah. Gonna be lit. So guys, don't forget that's this weekend, Frosty, and I know KP's putting in mad work to help out this tournament, help make it awesome alongside people like Joey D and everybody else over at Frosty. So tune in this weekend, twitch.tv/Team Spooky right here. That's where all the MVCI content's gonna be. The Marvel 3 tournament is gonna be on twitch.tv/Will English IV. So Will English the 4th. in Roman numerals. All right, you guys got that. Anywho, I'm really looking forward to this. This is number 10, so 10 years in the making. So it's pretty fitting that it turned out to be like one of the most sickest Marvel Infinite tournaments we're probably going to see so far this year. So many heavy hitters. I'm really looking forward to it. I think based off of the pools that you just listed, Ryan LV and Sonic Fox is probably going to be my most, like, looking forward to that match the most for it to happen. I mean, they're both in the same pool. That's assuming they both make it to each other, but hopefully they do. It would be pretty cool to see. But yeah, aside from that, check that out this weekend, you guys. Any final words on Frosty? I'm sorry I'm rushing a little bit. We're, like, running over time. Any final words? Frosty.
I'm good.
We're good. All right, moving right along to the next tournament soon after that, which is going to be Versus. I have a slide for you guys. Okay, cool. That's going to be Columbus, Ohio, February 2nd and 3rd. Marvel 3, Marvel 2, Marvel Infinite, all the Marvels all around, all the time. It's going to be great. I think that you guys should definitely tune into this event. And shout outs to Air Dash Club. Point blank period for just being so supportive of Marvel all around. This is a Marvel only event. Embassy Suites in Columbus, Ohio. Gonna be dope. We're gonna have some big names in the building. Nemo, Justin Wong, K-Brad, Static Alpha, KBR, Sanford, Dual Kevin. It's already lit. And you guys know Marvel 2's in the building. Justin Wong and Sanford's in the building. What? Gonna be fun. So, any initial thoughts for Versus? Did anybody go to Versus last year?
I was supposed
wasn't
to
able to make it.
but I didn't.
Well,
Nope.
I'm definitely going to be at Versus this year, so I'm looking forward to it. I remember after last year happened, I really wanted to check it out because, you know, any event that's so pro Marvel, I'm all for it. So I'm really looking forward to this event that's coming up the very first weekend of February. February 2nd and 3rd.
I think that I keep hearing more and more people that used to play Marvel 2 that have been in the life cycle for a long time keep drawing more and more comparisons between what Marvel 2 mix-ups and neutral look like and Infinite mix-ups and neutral look like. So definitely don't sleep on Marvel 2 for being old and you not caring about it. Like, there's a lot of stuff. Like, learn from the Grandmasters. These people have been bodying folk for 20 years now, like ridiculously long. So,
Yeah.
like,
Quite
look at that
some.
and think about how you can apply that to your characters and the engine for Infinite, because you'll be able to learn a lot if you actually like watch those with the expectation of trying to take away as much as possible, because it's going to be real good.
Yeah, so definitely, guys, if you're in the area, check it out. You still have a lot of time to figure out if you want to go or not. That's not happening until next month. So, yeah. If you want...
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, go for it.
I would just like to say we only have 16 people that are pre-registered for the event. I haven't signed up yet, but we a lot of people are deterred, especially in the local area, from what I was being told that the venue fee's too high or something. It's like only $40. I know that could be a lot, but please make it out, because this is we only get 2 Marvel only events a year that are regionals or majors or anything, and the next one is 4 months away with Undefeated. So.
Right.
This is one of the few chances you get to see Sanford versus Justin live, within this year. So it's just there's a lot of big names, and Darren is really great at just pulling all this together. And I really do not want to see this have a small turnout like it did last year. It's there's high caliber players and everything. It's gonna be a great time.
Definitely.
Just from the chat, it looks like apparently it's $30, but if you do bring a setup, it's $20. So
it's 40 with entering the game though. But still, that's not nearly as much as entering final round, which is $80 to $100 depending on when you register.
But you get a free bag.
Face.
Yeah, guys. So, I mean, if anybody was familiar with Seasons Beatings, that was one of the Marvel-centric events in Ohio in the past. So. Definitely show that support, especially for people like Air Dash Club who support us so much in return. Definitely worth checking out. And like we said, did you hear some of those names we just listed off? Nemo coming? I mean, I'm already super hyped because I'm trying to steal that tech, you know. But yeah, it's all good. Versus 2018, that's coming up February 2nd and 3rd, Columbus, Ohio. Please check out Air Dash Club for more information on this event. And yeah, we're gonna keep it rolling. Past this, shout out to Air Dash Club one more time, by the way. I just have to stress, when people really support the game, like, you get all of my love and support in return. So I'm just throwing that out there. All right, so moving on to Online Warriors. It's gonna be lit. For anybody who doesn't know what the Online Warriors thing is, it is a online tournament mostly put together by KP and Spooky, and I've been helping out too. We're trying to put together a really awesome online tournament series for you guys. The very first one is going to be this month, January 28th, which is a Sunday. Registration is open, I believe, and we're also selling merch for this event, and proceeds from that merch goes to the pot and stuff like that. So here is just one of, you know, our shirt designs, Online Warriors. We have long sleeve. That navy is slick. Of course, we got regular tees, both in male and female sizes. White tees, male and female sizes also. And we even have hoodies. Lots of awesome merchandise for our Online Warrior series. Different colors too. We got white, black, navy, and gray. So money from this is going to be going towards the prize pool and towards staff that's going to be helping put this event together. You can follow us all on Twitter, Marvel Lives, and Team Spooky, because this is a dual effort between all of us, and we're just trying to put together an awesome series for you guys, especially being graced with a much better netcode than Marvel 3 had to offer. So it's kind of cool that we can do cool things like this for everyone. So please support the series and also enter. It's a free tournament. You can enter for free. We will have a prize bonus that is going to be obviously much larger as people begin to buy merchandise for the event. And then the one on the 28th is not going to be the only event to happen. We're definitely planning on doing a long series throughout the year for everybody. So yeah, just stay tuned, support the store. We are going to have a Matcherino live really soon, and for everybody who's familiar with Matcherino right now, we all know Matcherino helps all of our events so much by even offering these free, you know, promo codes and stuff like that. Awesome merchandise on their stores that's built into their Matcherino pages that helps support us. It's all around amazing, and that is coming up at the end of this month. Whew, that was a mouthful, but it's all good because I'm just excited that we have these opportunities now to do stuff online and help people get involved who could not get involved before. Especially when I feel like even in Marvel 3, so many of our prominent players were Online Warriors at one point, and then they transitioned over into offline tournaments and stuff like that. So with this type of series, I think it's going to help us kind of hone that same you know, concept as before, except better, because we can actually play each other. And you know, on
enjoy playing each other, at least.
Exactly.
That's the hard part.
Exactly. And I mean, on the topic of being able to play online, I know we gave a shout out to Jacko Man earlier, but it's just really awesome to see a lot more people putting stuff together and, you know, making online another viable option. So I'm really stoked about that. Any specific words on online from you guys? Because I know I see you guys playing in lobbies and stuff all the time. Do you feel like playing online actually is useful or helps? Or do you think it's kind of like every, you know, game that you play online that it helps you build bad habits and stuff like that? What do you think about online right now for Infinite?
I'll go real quick. I've been grinding pretty hard online with Zebu, and then I ran the last couple weeks of the after podcast lobby, which, by the way, tonight is KP is handling that. So just keep an eye out for whenever he gets home. He's going to load up his stream at his normal spot /K Kinder Party /KB Kinder Party. What's his Twitch?
I think it's just Kinder Party.
Just Kinder Party. So if you want to get matches with some of us. We'll be trying to play there, and of course that'll be streamed, and you can watch the archives and everything. I personally, I think that the online is super solid in this game. Like every once in a while, you'll get some crappy stuff, but compared to 3, I mean, it's completely unplayable. And I think that you can really learn a lot about just kind of engine mechanics and grind out some of these punishes that you're going to need to play the game at a high level. I think Capcom, please make it faster to get rematches. I sat down with one of my local friends, Sod9, and did a first 100. Shout outs to Yipes and Punk that recorded and streamed a first 100, and we were like, yeah, we're going to do that too. I think it's actually a really cool idea. If anyone else does a first 100, let me know. I'll make sure that we'll blast it out through the Marvel Live channel or Marvel Lives to try and help everyone that wants to do that grind get the kind of exposure that we can help with it anyways. But, sorry, I'm very rambly. I'm all about the online code. I think everyone should be playing there. Don't shy away from Online Warrior. And that's all I have.
Cool. Were you going to say something, Airborne?
No, I was about to just start. My mind was wandering somewhere. I don't know. All I was going to say about online play is that in terms of the habit building, I feel like, or habit forming, that tends to happen with online play. I feel like it's not nearly as much as the connection now. It's more so the level of play that we're getting exposed to. A lot of people in ranked still, don't know that, like, if you counter tag, you're not at a frame advantage if the opponent's able to tag still, and stuff like that. And up backing is still exposure to, because the pre-jump frames you can't block during, and all sorts of stuff like that. So it's I think it's more so as these players get more exposed to understanding the engine and everything, I feel like it will be a suitable level of play. It's just I don't think people are really geared as much towards winning the 2 out of 3 as they are, I don't feel like it's Marvel 3, for instance, where playing for the 2 out of 3 is not as different as playing for the 3 out of 5.
I think the real strength, I agree that ranked play is kind of hard at the moment, but I think the connection quality is really strong. So just spin up a lobby and invite some friends. I've had literally cross-country connections that are like perfectly playable with no issues whatsoever. So don't be afraid to try them out.
Yeah, I want to talk about online play. So before KIT, I played against Timo, right? And I played him online. We played for like 2 to 3 hours. We played like over 60 matches or something like that, and they were just buttery smooth. So it was actually great. I loved it. And I would do it again any other time. And we agree that we should actually have a first to 10 again. And anybody, who doesn't have a scene, anybody who would like someone to play with, just just go online, try to find someone who has a really good connection. Just go on the MVCI subreddit, go on Twitter, and try to play people. Because the good thing about online now compared to Marvel 3 is that most of the stuff that you do, you can actually apply offline. And most of the stuff that happens, like, you can punish it and you can learn a lot from that, especially like matchup wise. Matchup knowledge online is actually very important. And that is something that you're going to get more often compared to offline. You're more likely to find people playing different characters, regardless of, whether they suck or not, in shells that you would never see offline. And, that is one of the biggest advantages that it has. And, you also don't have to leave your house. You can just play and play whoever. You don't have to worry about, the space or whatever. But yeah, I think I heard a lot of people saying that the online has deteriorated a little or something like that. And I did not notice this against the same people that I currently play with. So if anybody, has any thoughts about that, just let me know.
Cool. Well, we covered all the topics we had today. I thought we were never going to get through that, but we did it. Congratulations, you guys. We made it. We covered a lot. The core things you guys need to know is that Cloud got bodied at KIT. Versus coming up first weekend of February. And also this weekend is Frosty Faustings. So stay tuned for all of that. It's been awesome. Kick around the table for everyone to give their sign-off words. And don't forget, not directly after this stream, but a short while later, we are opening up our open MVCI lobby that we've been doing the past few times. And Kendo Party is going to be the one hosting it. I think his handle is actually like Marvel Live 9 p.m. EST, which is great. But just keep your eye on the Marvel Lives Twitter for more information on the lobby that's coming up a little bit later tonight. But yeah, starting with our special guest, Punisher. Thank you so much for joining us tonight, and congratulations for winning KIT. Any signing off words? Where can we find you? Where are you going next? Whole shebang.
Yeah, for sure. Thanks a lot, Sam. Thanks a lot for everybody, for having me here. It's been always a pleasure. I'm gonna be at Frosty Faustins, and I'm gonna be at Winter Brawl as well. So
Woo!
any other tournaments that I might be going to, I'll let you guys know. Anybody who wants to reach out to me, they can reach out to me on Twitter at Punisher X6.
Yeah, it's on your
that's for
screen,
sure.
peeps, right now.
There you go. And thanks a lot for that. What else? I want to give a huge shout out to Team Hitbox for making all of this possible. You guys are amazing. To Team Hitbox. I love you guys. You guys are the best. And I couldn't have done all of this without you, without your support, for always believing in me when a lot of people didn't. And that is actually great. I will always keep you guys in my heart no matter what.
I'm gonna have to have a word with the Hitbox guys at some point. I've been repping them pretty hard for a long time.
But man, you're Raccoon, bro.
Hitbox Merkle. Is that the problem? I don't play Raccoon?
Yeah, man, you're a furry.
All right. I'll fix that.
And Kyle, any signing off words aside from Hitbox? Yo, hit us up.
Right. No, I think I'm pretty good. For anyone that's trying to get matches with me or anything coming up, I'm gonna be trying to work on that Random Theory Fighter network project a little more. So I'm gonna be spending more time in code and a little less time playing. But definitely still hit me up, and I'll still try and rent some streams and play some matches. But thanks for everyone that's tuned into my stream on Merkle 999X and hit me up for anything that we need. Otherwise, I'm sure I'll be back next episode, and I'll catch y'all then.
Cool. And Potato Salad, any final words of the night?
I don't really have much to say. KIT was hype. You guys need to go to Frosty. If you can't go, watch the stream. Same thing with Versus. Just support anybody that supports this game. And then I had a lot of fun at KIT, and it kind of reinvigorated my desire, or my grinding desire in this game. So I've been playing a lot more, specifically online, because I'm one of the scenes that doesn't necessarily have a lot of players here locally, so I have to resort to online. So please, if you guys want to play, hit me up at La Ensalada de Papa. Hit me up and I'll be down to play Marvel. Or you can hit me up on Facebook or Twitter and just shoot me a DM or whatever, and I will play you, because I want to get more 1st to 10s and 1st to 15s and stuff in. I'm tired of playing, 1st to 2 and then people dipping out or whatever. So I want to play some long sets. So hit me up.
All right, sounds good. And Airborne, thank you for joining us again, especially so last second. Any signing off words? Where can we find you?
You can find me on Twitter at AirborneIsFly. I've been trying to get my Twitch stream going. That's twitch.tv/AirborneIsSoFly.
Ooh.
I also have a YouTube channel where I'm trying to put up more content. That's Airborne is Golden.
Oh, I thought it was
I like
Airborne is
adjectives.
extra fly.
No, it went Golden, then Fly, then SoFly. So that's
only so fly.
Right. I mean, I'm pretty fly for a white guy, right? But anyways, shout outs to Team Net Battles. Especially from this past weekend for helping us out with the donation drive, especially Nober for streaming Godlike Saturdays and everything, now under NYC Furby. Shout outs to One Frame Link, because I somehow did not give him a shout out last time. We actually just added Ram Bam to our Marvel team. So now it's me, Raid, and Marvel. Me, Raid, and Marvel, and Ram Bam. So our little family's starting to grow a little bit.
Who's Raid?
Yeah, who's that guy?
I don't know. Some guy that's in my area right now.
No, he's in PR now.
Yeah. 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 So I hope to get him back soon once he gets his internet back. Shout out to everybody.
He wants to let everyone know that he misses everyone and that he hates not having internet. Sorry.
He says he feels senile without internet.
Oh,
Yeah, I was supposed to have him for one of the exhibitions this weekend, but a lot of people couldn't make it. Shout outs to Punisher. Thank you for originally wanting to help out. That was I was actually really excited to be able to possibly have you on there. And it was fun to hear you talk about Rocket Raccoon compared to what was it, Zero and Marvel 3 when Cloud was complaining Saturday night.
Yeah. Oh my god, he wanted both Hawkeye and Rocket to be nerfed. Like, they need to get nerfed, man. Yeah, I don't want to hear anything about it, man. They need to get nerfed. Doesn't matter what you say. I don't care. They need to get nerfed. I'm like, okay.
All right, cool. So I think that wraps it up for our episode. Was this really episode number 40? Just saying, I saw it in our document, but if it was...
That was a rough guesstimate.
Okay.
Just put a question mark behind that.
Episode number 40, question mark. But anyways, thank you guys so much for tuning in. As always, every first and third Tuesday, you can catch us right here, Marvel Live, on twitch.tv/TeamSpooky. And our archives do go up to the Team Spooky YouTube shortly after the podcast. So if you weren't able to tune in live, you can always watch the videos back on YouTube. Catch us next time on the 6th of February. I don't know.
It's the 6th. It's the 6th.
The 6th. Okay. Catch the next show. It's going to be February 6th. That's the first Tuesday of February, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We'll be covering pretty much everything we previewed this week for sure, and more. I'm sure there'll be some awesome blow-ups. Yeah, we have like an off week, so yeah, thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you, Punisher, for showing up. Thank you, Airborne, for showing up last minute. Of course, Marcus and Kyle, the crew, always here, always reliable. Thank you so much. And for everybody who tuned in tonight, thank you for tuning in tonight. Please play Marvel. Please support this game. And I mean, you guys are going to do that anyways. I'm just saying that for extra measure. All right, peace out. Good night. And yeah, happy March.
Shout out to the stream starting up, right?
Yes,
right.
We
yeah, like
the
new leaf.
Thank
Shout out to the 20th anniversary of Marvel vs. Capcom.
Nice.
Oh man,
Next week
on the 20. No, that's on the
week?
23rd. It's on the 23rd, guys. Hopefully we get some news. That'd be sick.
That would be sick.
20-year anniversary.
We'll
There's
see.
20 new characters.
It's possible.
That'd be great. More characters, new characters. Let's go. Everything.
All right, guys. Hyper Sentinel Force. Peace out. Thank you for tuning in. We'll catch you guys next time.
Peace.